Now we're recording.
All right. Welcome back to the Jojitorium, episode 56.
Yeah.
Yeah. This isn't real. I'm just fucking around.
I thought you were going to take it.
No, you can do your fucking thing.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Jojitorium. You know who it is. It's Adam. It's Matt. We're decaying with the boys, and bad times don't last, but bad guys do. Bash Brew Beer Fest 2022 rolls on with Brews and Bruises, scheduled to take over the Ross Draver Ice Center on June 4th. Come see live pro wrestling and delicious craft beer from breweries from all over the nation. Tickets are still available right now, so head on over to the Brews and Bruises Festival on Facebook to snag yours up right now. Just make sure you tell them that the boys sent you. Welcome back. We are back in the Jojitorium by ourselves. It's okay. We have guests later. Not today, but down the road. We have a couple scheduled.
I'm not that worried.
You shouldn't be.
I still don't know who any of them are. So you're keeping it very secret.
That's what I do. I am like Cody Rhodes. I want to keep you guessing. Am I coming to Jacksonville? Maybe. Maybe not.
I'm just here for vacation.
I'm just here to just peruse. Me and my wife. We're not signing contracts or meeting with creative. I swear to God. I swear to God. So, Adam, last episode you told me that you were running around getting stuff for a homebrew competition, and then I disingenuously just brushed over that. And everyone's like, why didn't you talk about the homebrew competition? So for everyone who wants to know, I'm sorry, first and foremost, relax. Like I wasn't going to ask him about it. So Adam.
They really got bent out of shape about it, huh?
Yeah, like it was a good handful of people who were like, hey man, you do have a co-host that does stuff. You should ask him about that. And I felt bad. So now I want to ask you.
Well, I mean, you kind of know behind the scenes what it is already. So the general public might be a little upset to hear that it's not your typical brew competition. There's no public aspect to it. It's just a basically the trash homebrew club here in Pittsburgh that I'm the vice president of throws a trash competition every year. This is the 30th one, aside from 2020 and 2021. It got canceled from the pandemic. But everybody brings their best. Like it's close to like these traditional what are called BJCP style beers, which are like your typical just traditional beers. Like the newest thing on there is hazy IPAs, and they just got added in like 2016, I think. So it's very traditional beers, ales and lagers, and then judges from all over the country come in and judge your beer, and you get feedback. They get scored, and the top 3 places in every style get an award.
Cool. And then you were running around like a madman collecting prizes.
Collecting the prizes for the awards.
Yeah, because you're the vice president.
Yeah. Which I really slacked off this week. I hope nobody's listening. I felt like crap in the middle of the week. And, I mean, I was reaching out to people, but I did not do as much running around as I did last week just because I burnt myself out.
Can I just tell you right now, the people who were mad at me were people in trash.
Oh,
they were mad.
There you go. You should talk about trash.
Yeah, talk about
trash.
Trash.
But I mean, for anybody that is in homebrewing, Trash and Troop here in Allegheny County are great homebrew clubs. If you're in Westmoreland County, Waze is their contingent out there. And then if you're in Butler County, Bash is not Bash Brew, but Bash is.
You should go there.
Butler area serious homebrewers.
Just take that one.
Yeah. Oh, we're taking over. We're going to invade.
Yeah. I was like, are you the flagship of this thing? I'm like, yes, absolutely.
But yeah, definitely get involved. Look for it coming up next year. It's already, most of the places are taken already. There are people that back out last minute. So if you're really interested, just keep an eye on the trash competition website. And if there's an opening, you can sneak in. If not, look for us next year. It's always around mid-April.
Okay.
Sign-ups are usually January, February.
So this is a dumb question. Maybe it's a dumb question. Do you have to be in trash to enter the competition? Okay, so you can just be a home brewer.
There is a I don't know the fee because I didn't enter this year myself.
But there's money.
Yeah, you pay to enter your entries, your beer entries.
Yeah.
If you're not I think if you are or are not a member, and that just all goes to the club to put on the award ceremony and the event.
I think it's worth it in general because you're getting professional feedback on your beers.
Yes, you get professional feedback on everything you turn in.
That's really
by
cool.
multiple judges.
Yeah.
So it's very cool.
Are you kind of sad you didn't enter this year then?
Yeah, I knew I was going to be too busy, and actually, if one of those spaces does open up, I might sneak in an oatmeal stout, but it's not likely. I just didn't have time this year.
Yeah, because we're too busy here in the Jojitorium bringing you what you need to hear and see.
Plus, being an officer, I feel kind of weird entering. Like,
that would.
Yeah, I'm going to wait until I step down from my my position.
When's that going to be?
Of the trash people are. Hopefully this November.
Are you going to get voted off, or are you just going to step down?
I'm just going to step down. But if they don't have anybody to nominate to take my place, I kind of get stuck.
Oh, no.
So hopefully somebody wants to do it. It's real easy. It's a lot of fun. I've done it for 3 years now, mostly during the pandemic. But
probably not a lot to do during the pandemic, though, right?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So
well,
I'm trying to make up for it now.
Yeah. Well, thank you for helping out with that and setting that all up. And you guys.
Thanks for not just ignoring it.
Yeah. This time around. I'm sorry.
In addition, on a little local beer news, the podcast was invited out to check out Fermenta Brewing, a new brewery opening up in
Ambridge.
Ambridge. Thank you. The other A up that direction. Yes, up in Ambridge, right on Merchant Street.
Yep.
And went and got to check out their space. It's huge. They have seating for over 100 people. They open up next Saturday, which will be the
25th,
26th.
Is it a Saturday or something?
It's a Saturday.
I think it's the 25th.
Okay, whatever's closest to that.
It is the 26th.
But they're going to have multiple bands, multiple food trucks for opening day. Nice. And I might be out there Saturday. More likely going to be there Sunday. But yeah, definitely going to try to check them out opening weekend and get some of their beers. Yeah. I think they said they're going to have 6 beers on, 5 or 6 drafts of their own.
Oh, nice.
On, along with, they're trying to get like some cider and
that's cool.
Some wine maybe for the non-beer drinkers that want to go check out.
But
beautiful space. It was really cool to check out. Sorry you couldn't make it, but we'll sneak out there together soon.
Absolutely. And if you see us both out there, rest assured we probably have some merch on us, at least some stickers or something. So if you see us out and about, just approach us. We probably have something in our pockets. We'll hook you up. Yeah. So, Adam, we are in round 1. You brought us some delicious beers to drink. You put them together. Got Ramon beers. What we got?
Ramon beers. So, funny enough, I have Union Brothers How to Achieve Warp Speed, which is their 8.5 double hazy IPA. But it's your week for punishment.
Yeah.
So you don't get this round 1 beer.
What?
Hold 1 second.
I thought he forgot.
Tell me they can find Union Brothers.
I thought that he forgot that I was supposed to be punished for last week. So, oh my God. What the fuck is that?
Matt, you'll be drinking Smirnoff Ice Pink Lemonade. And they're only 12-ounce cans, so you might get thirsty. So here's a couple backups.
Oh, shit. Really?
Round 1 beers.
Round one beer for you. What the fuck is...
Delicious.
Ice pink lemonade.
Yeah.
How much sugar is in this? Am I going to have...
Enough. You said you were tired.
Yeah, but I can't believe you remembered that I had to be punished.
Yes.
All right. Well,
I did.
I'm going to crack my first one. So if you want to talk about the actual good beer.
Yeah. This is a great double hazy IPA. I've already had one, in full disclosure. And it is a double IPA by Union Brothers, dry hopped with Citra, Strata, and Nelson hops.
Sounds really good.
Yeah.
And if you know what's going on with Union Brothers, I do search them out on all social media. It's Union Brothers Brewing. They're on most social media, I believe Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Ooh, smell that.
I don't know. I can't because all I have is Smirnoff pink lemonade in my nose, and I don't want to affect it because I'm trying to get the aroma and really try to enjoy this thing.
You want to know the best part?
What?
This is my last one, too. So
is it really?
Yeah, you don't even get to try it.
No. Good God.
Do better.
I already apologize for how terrible I am at predicting scripted combat. So why don't you go ahead and talk about your first sip, and I'm going to try to slam one of these things down now so I can get it out of the way.
It's got a nice golden hazy straw color to it. Very bitter. Very danky, just where I like it. That Strata is real dank on it. And then the Nelson definitely comes through too.
That's good.
Very nice and bitter.
The malt really comes through on this. Yeah.
Yeah?
It's, yeah.
Not the sugar. It probably tastes like Kool-Aid, right?
No, Kool-Aid tastes way better than this.
Oh my God, this is so good.
So the problem with Smirnoff has always been, despite the fact that they always boast these natural flavors on the can, it always tastes like someone just took like.
Do they really?
Yeah, it says premium malt beverage with natural flavors and certified colors. That's a tricky way of saying they have like red dye number 45, the one that makes you poop a lot. That's in here or whatever. Red number 7 or whatever.
Yeah, one of them.
It's the one that's in the sugar-free gummy bears that everyone.
Shits their pants over.
Yep,
literally.
Oh my God. Well, you know what, sir? Kudos to you. Kudos to you for a good punishment and remembering. So
you're welcome.
I appreciate you.
Welcome. You weren't wondering why there wasn't a beer can for you?
Well, we always split.
Sometimes we split.
Yeah.
Especially when it's an 8.5. I'm going to be real fun in the second half. Slogging down an 8.5 here.
Yeah, well, me too. Well, got 4 of these fucking things.
And again, Union Brothers Brewing. We might see them in the round 2 beers as well. Little spoiler alert. But they're from Harmony, PA. So go check them out. Got a great kitchen. And they got great draft beer. And I don't want to break your heart. You will. You will be fully participating in round 2 beers. I can't.
Thank you.
And you'll like the round 2 beer even better than this. It's more your style.
Okay. Well, I can appreciate that. Thank you. You still give me some leeway, at least a little bit here.
Yes.
So I can appreciate that.
Go get some beer from Union Brothers. Sours, IPAs, great stouts, and great Krispies now too.
Yeah.
Are hitting the menu more and more every time I go up there. And then their burgers are killer. If you like burgers, they also have wings. Your typical bar fare. Some great sandwiches.
You did a smash burger? Is it a smash burger up there?
Yeah. That's what I would call it. And it's like spare rib and chuck, and it's a good blend.
Delicious.
Yeah.
I think I would cheat on my no red meat diet.
You would totally would. It's totally worth it. They got me back into burgers, and I'm getting bulky now.
I don't need to get bulky. I already am bulky. So I'm gonna put my nice pint glass behind me. I did drink a bash brew before I started this, so at least I had one good beer before I started.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed you did that, but I couldn't share my hand.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, of course you can have a beer while we sit up.
Smart. So we are going to get into some combat sports here. So from Buckle to Bell to Bellator and back, the boys bring you the best wrestling biz in the news. So we have to start off with the legend Scott Hall. He passed away. He's arguably one of the most influential wrestlers of the Attitude Era. He passed away after complications arose during hip surgery. So according to reports, if you haven't been following this at all, Scott Hall received a full hip replacement, and during the surgery, he suffered upwards of 3 heart attacks, to which he couldn't recover from. He was placed on life support, where Kevin Nash was... he didn't have to do this, but he was kind of giving the play-by-play on social media of Scott Hall's health as it was degrading. He tweeted that Hall would remain on life support until his family was in place. And then on Monday evening, Sean Waltman, lovingly known as X-Pac, who's currently going to wrestle in GCW, tweeted cryptically, "He's gone." Scott Hall, a legend in his own right, the bad guy, lovingly named the bad guy. He solidified himself as a premier talent as Razor Ramon in the WWF, where he had classic matches with Shawn Michaels, the 1-2-3 Kid, Goldust, and countless Hall of Fame talents. He left WWF in 1996, where he quickly signed with WCW, and that's when we know him to form the Outsiders with Kevin Nash, and then finally defecting the American Hero, Hulk Hogan in 1996 as well, to form the NWO. And we all know what happened there. For 83 straight weeks, WCW absolutely decimated.
On a tear.
Just destroyed. They signed all the best talent. Like Scott Hall going to WCW started this mass exodus from WWF. It destroyed Vince McMahon. He didn't know what to do. He was at a loss. He didn't know how to recover from any of it. And for a while there, just the 3 of those guys just ran over the Monday Night Wars. They fed into the Thursday Night Wars. They were taking over.
It was the best. It was because they were on at the same time. It sparked what's known as the Monday Night Wars. So you could literally click up and down the dial and try to watch everything happening at the same time. Great time to be a wrestling fan. Definitely solidified me being a fan in my teenage years.
Yeah, absolutely. And to know that he was... Well, he's a main eventer, but he was a career mid-carder, and he was one of the best mid-carders to ever grace the squared circle. He held the Intercontinental title at WWF 4 times, WCW tag title 7 times, 1 time without Kevin Nash. He held the WCW US heavyweight title 1 time and the WCW World Television title 1 time. He's most notably understood to be one of the best Intercontinental champions of all time because the 4 times he held the belt, he went through absolute wars to either obtain them or to lose them. Yeah. Fantastic here. I consider an integral part of the 83 weeks. There's a great podcast with Eric Bischoff where he talks about it, and Scott Hall is all over it. He's constantly brought up about his influence on the company and the business and how he was great with creative.
Yeah, he did a lot for their storylines that he wasn't even in. Like, he was a big part of the Sting Hogan storyline that was real big when the NWO first started. I mean, he had some really good ideas and was really a creative talent. So he'll definitely be missed. I don't think he's been in the industry doing much other than kind of helping younger wrestlers recently, but
yeah. And then he garnered a ton of support too when he had to have the hip surgery. He didn't really have,
I think for his last hip.
Yeah. He didn't have any health insurance.
He fell and broke this one, which he replaced. But yeah, I think I remember in the early days of, I don't know, what are those crowdfunding, Kickstarter and
the GoFundMe was like one of the first ones too. Yeah, and
I think he like more than doubled what he needed for his first hip surgery.
70, and he ended up like 150. And like money was still pouring, and they had to turn off the GoFundMe because money was just getting misallocated.
Yeah, so I mean, and I've heard different things. I've heard like it was heart attacks during the hip replacement surgery. I heard it was during his recovery. There were blood clots that got shot basically into his heart and gave him the heart attacks. So I mean, whatever it was 3 heart attacks, and
that's hard to come back from.
And he didn't kick out. Yeah. But sucks.
So hey man, thanks for the good times, bad guy. I wouldn't be able to love wrestling as much as I do now without you doing what you did. And Wolfpack for life, Outsiders for life, just too sweet.
Woo! Yeah, buddy. Woo! Oh, now into better news.
Yeah, Big E broke his neck during live television. So Big E, known for being part of the trifecta of the New Day, he fell victim to what is being called a broken neck after a botched belly-to-belly suplex from Ridge Holland on SmackDown. So Big E was stretchered away from this horrible incident where he was he had a scan MRI, I do believe, where they saw that he had fractures to his C1 and C6 vertebrae, but would not need surgery. So that's a good thing because he's a hoss.
Yeah,
I think it really saved him. He's a thick man, and thick thighs save lives, but I think a thick neck saves the break. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
right.
It's still up in the air if he's actually done with wrestling because there are some people like there's a doctor that constantly peruses Reddit, and he went on there and he was kind of like picking up some of the information. He was like, listen, like a C1 and a C6 is a career ender.
Right.
You're talking about things that are synonymous with like what happened to like Peyton Manning, what happened to Stone Cold Steve Austin. These are very similar injuries. So it depends though. Modern medicine is like unfathomable.
And he also disclaimed like, I am not his personal physician. I don't know his specifics.
Correct.
But just knowing what those injuries are to those vertebrae, this
tough.
Is the normal course of action. Like this is normally what will happen. And he said it would normally be cause for a wrestler to hang it up. But I hope not.
Yeah, same. I love Big E, and he, even though his run with the title was short, it was great. I want to see him do it again. So, get well, Big E. We want to see you back in the ring. And if you can't do it in WWE, maybe you could do it somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So, speaking of WWE, what happens if they don't land Cody Rhodes? The mystery of Cody Rhodes.
I'll tell you. Adam doesn't watch any of WrestleMania. That's what happens.
That's exactly what a lot of people are saying, too, that they're waiting for World Wrestling Entertainment to bring in the defector from AEW, one of the founding members. And the original shot was they wanted to try to get him in for Jacksonville because they would be right down the road from Daly's place, and they could have just basically took a big shit on AEW.
Right.
But they're not competition.
No.
They've never been competition. They're not competition. But right now, there's no solid proof that they even have Cody Rhodes in their ranks. However, internal documents keep getting released stating that he's going to face Seth Rollins at the Showcase of the Immortals. I don't know, though.
I don't know.
I mean, they've been teasing a lot.
I don't see it. I really want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin get interviewed right now is the number one thing I want to see.
Yeah, and then
that's sad.
Then, of course, they're saying, like, he's getting on, Stone Cold's getting on interviews saying, like, I want to wrestle.
Right.
So it's inevitable. That's going to be a wrestling match. That's not going to be.
Hope so.
I hope so, too. I don't think it's just going to be an interview spot because that would just be lame. I watch the Broken Skull sessions every week. I don't need to watch him talk during WrestleMania, too.
Right.
Yeah. So, but then again, too, lastly, before we move on to the next thing, if WWE can't land Cody Rhodes in time, what does that say about their pull? Because they really put a lot of their machismo into what they can acquire. And
they haven't acquired much.
They really haven't.
They've let a lot go, and their track record this year is kind of poopy on the creative side.
Just a little bit. And there was a new report.
I think they've been making money hand over fist.
Oh, absolutely.
It's unfreaking watchable. Yeah. It's
well, now that you say that too, a report came out. Thank you, Wrestle Talk. Support Wrestle Talk. My understanding is that there are former creative writers and current creative writers that are leaking information to the dirt sheeters, you dirty, dirty dirt sheeters, that WWE kills creative process.
This beer's so good, Matt.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the last of it.
I like how it's kind of cascading a little bit too when you pour it from a distance.
It's nice and thick and hoppy and. Pittsburgh local beer. I think that one's out too. I don't even think you can buy that one.
This
anymore.
isn't local?
No. I mean, it came from a local beer distributor.
Which one? I
actually don't know.
I like it so much. Does it come in 4-packs?
No,
like
12.
Like other craft beers?
No,
Does
12.
It come in 4s?
You get a whole 12er.
Yeah, this underground company Smirnoff has, they've been a young up and comer.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they
young upstart.
Yeah,
they're working towards a smoothie sour. I think,
they took a break from doing cream ales and lagers, and they made this.
Yeah. Only the crispiest.
With Cool Crash technology, they came out with this ice pink lemonade. It's incredible. So
you just use words you hear me say and then put them in the totally wrong context.
It says ice. It has to be cool. It has to be cold crashed because it says ice around the can. Right?
Yeah.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Pardon me while I need to finish this delicious malty beverage so I can crack another one.
Yeah. I mean, only if you're thirsty. I figured you probably, 4 will do you. I mean, they're only 12-ounce cans. They're little Red Bulls with a little bit of alcohol in them. I don't think they're that heavy, right? They're not breaking the bank on ABV, are they?
No, they're like 4.3 or something like that.
Yeah. It's water for you.
Yeah, it's really sugary, laser-tasting water to me.
I got Tums for you upstairs. But.
Thank you. Good God. During the break, can I please have some Tums?
Yeah, sure.
So speaking of needing Tums, the UFC fighters just must be stomach sick at all times because the UFC just returned massive quarter earnings for the last quarter they were just in. They're talking about historic earnings despite the fact that they've put out maybe one good card every roughly 4 bouts.
Yeah, like once a quarter-ish.
You're seeing a pretty stacked card.
Yeah.
Like that.
3 a year. That's fair.
Yeah, that Covington Masvidal card just wasn't electric. It was good.
Yeah, I don't know what it did sales-wise, but it wasn't as hot as they tried. I mean, there was no belt. There was
nothing there. No bad motherfucker belt.
They used to be friends, though.
Oh, no.
They shared a studio apartment. They slept on the same couch.
Yeah.
They played footsie.
So did we.
Yeah.
And we have a podcast, and they had a fight. So, fuck you guys. So anyway, Endeavor CEO Ari Emanuel, Endeavor is a parent company of the UFC. They have majority stakehold in the company. Shut down conversations of fighter pay when they were asked by Brandon Ross from Lightshed Partners. So Mr. Ross brought up the backlash after Jake Paul shed more light on the inequity in fighter pay versus the income boasted by the UFC. So again, like I said, the UFC boasted record income. And then fighter pay continues to hang around roughly 16% of revenue share back to the fighters. To put it in perspective for you, Major League Baseball, National Hockey League, the NFL, even the MLS, they actually return roughly 50% of their revenue back to the players, which make the contracts pretty lucrative.
Even, I don't know, and this is getting nerdy back into pro wrestling, but even in like the Attitude Era Monday Night Wars time we were thinking of, I've heard interviews where wrestlers in both companies were getting 50% of their merch sales back then.
Right. Yeah.
So even pro wrestling who's notoriously ripping off their performers, is doing better than UFC now. I mean, it's crazy because for them to be reporting record earnings when it's the least interesting I've ever seen it is, they're cutting costs somewhere. That's what's happening.
Maybe that Venom sponsorship is less
paying a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it better than the Reebok deal. That's the only thing they did right recently.
Yeah. But then we kind of thought that they were going to return that money back to some fighters. And here we are having this same conversation in March that we were having. I believe you and I had the same conversation last March. Yeah. We had a very similar conversation.
I think your new boy's fighting this Saturday, though. I think Patty's fighting, isn't he?
Patty is fighting this weekend because let me tell you right now, he's pissed off a lot of people. He is pissed off so many people. And I
love it.
That fucking bowl haircut he has, you better back that shit up, and he's gonna. So he actually, we're going to release this on Sunday. He had already fought on Saturday.
Yeah, so hopefully he won.
He definitely did. Yeah. He's fighting in London. He's going for a Conor McGregor level moment. That 2014 bout where he fought that fucking scrub in Ireland and the whole place basically caught on fire. Yeah. This is exactly what Patty's getting. He's getting fed an okay fighter. He's going to decimate that motherfucker. He's going to make that arena pop. And then he's going to be the next superstar that gets launched up through the ranks.
Do you know if this is a fight night or is it a?
It's a fight night. It's
free?
UFC Fight Night London.
Nice.
Yeah, so
I'll be watching
Saturday. It's like Fight Night 42 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But it's actually a pretty good card.
Cool.
And it's headlined by Mr. Pimblay. Yeah. Patty the Pimp, as he likes to call himself, Batty Patty. He gives himself names too.
Old bowl cut.
Yeah, old bowl cut McGee.
He looks like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber with blonde hair. Yeah.
So
Samsonite. Damn, I was close. Right there.
So, hey man, a little bit of good news here for you. Greg Hardy got fired. So the residential punching bag Greg Hardy got the boot after being completely dismantled in UFC 272. After the fight, he wrote a message to his fans, if he has any, and he said, hey, listen, I'm going back to the drawing board. I'm going to fix a lot of things. When I come back, you're going to appreciate me. And everyone said, nah. And Taya Tuivasa said, he's like, gave him some advice, said, you're an idiot. You should go work at McDonald's or something. So I second that. Fuck you, Greg Hardy.
Yeah, fuck Greg Hardy.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. You're a douche, and you got dismantled by a much more skilled fighter than you, and now you have to go figure it out somewhere else. And maybe you do, and maybe you don't, and maybe you make a burger for me, and I'm going to eat red meat that day, and I'm going to blow up that bathroom, because when you're done flipping burgers, you're going to go in the bathroom and clean up whatever the hell is going to happen in there. So
you like him a lot, huh?
Oh, dude, I'm so over that guy. Just like some of the statements I've read about.
He's a piece of trash.
He's a degenerate. The way he speaks to people and the things he does to people.
He was too trashy for the Dallas Cowboys. That's some trash.
That's saying something. Because back in 94 94 when they beat the Steelers, everybody was on coke.
Yeah.
Everyone was on coke.
Yeah, everybody.
Look at you, Mike Harving.
I loved him so much.
I did too. He's still good.
Oh, yeah. He still looks like a boss.
Absolutely. His suits are tight. So, Adam, real quick, just to ask you this question.
Yeah.
Do you think WrestleMania needs 2 nights?
No. I don't even think they could fill half of a pay-per-view right now. No. They have like maybe a solid 2 hours.
That's what I was thinking too. I miss where WrestleMania was the only 4-hour pay-per-view, and all the other ones were roughly 2.5.
Which then, like, before they split the 2 nights, it was up to like 7 hours by the end there.
Yeah, but then there's always all these filler matches that no one really needed. But and here's the thing I understand. First and foremost, I know WrestleMania has to have like a celebrity match to like get buy-in from casual fans and shit. I get that. And I think they have a good one with Johnny Knoxville. I think he's fun. He has no problem taking bumps, clearly.
Yeah, and they have one each night because they have Paul on the other night.
And that's one I don't want.
Yeah, I don't want either. Well, I don't really want either of them because I don't like the celebrity matches. But
I don't like celebrity matches in terms of like I feel like it's kind of a slap in the face to professional wrestling in general. But Bad Bunny kind of rewrote that script a little bit because he really dedicated himself.
I didn't know who the fuck he was.
I didn't know who he was either.
I'm not saying he's not popular. He's very popular. I just did not know who he was.
I like his music now, though. I will say WWE did a good job. They brought him on, and I Googled it, and he's on my Spotify now.
I mean, I do like. I don't even know if he is hip hop or is he electronica. I know he's Latin.
Yeah, it's like
because I loved Daddy Yankee back in the day.
It's not Daddy Yankee. No. This is it's electronica and hip hop kind of comes together. It's cool.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out after the podcast with you.
When the kids say it slaps, slaps.
You're so fucking old.
You gave me a Smirnoff Ice Pink Lemonade.
You're slapping.
It slaps.
You're slapping. Yeah, but there's definitely no need for WrestleMania to be more than one night. So it makes it less. It already dilutes it and makes it less special, even if it was good. Like, it just looks like more of a carny fucking sideshow. And they keep using the words. This is going to be the most stupendous.
Yeah.
And there's nothing stupendous about it. It's just stupid.
Yeah, exactly. So I went through the trouble, Adam, of highlighting all the matches that are so far confirmed here.
Saint. I heard they're adding at least 7 more.
Yep. Yeah. So neither night is filled completely.
Oh, so they already have them set to nights?
Yeah, it's definitely 2 nights, and some of these matches are already kind of.
Well, I just didn't know if like some of them are confirmed night 1, some are confirmed night 2. Okay.
So on night 1 right now, there's the Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, the Mysterios versus The Miz and Logan Paul, McIntyre versus Corbin, and the Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs.
I instantly have a problem when you have your 2 biggest women's matches on the same night.
Correct.
That seems
Why
weird.
are they not showcased on?
That seems weird. Unless you just showcasing the ladies that night and then the men are on. I didn't look ahead, so I don't know what's on night 2. But
I'll tell you.
Maybe both men's titles are on night 2. Then.
Well, they do put the Triple Threat Tag Team Women's match on the second night with Zelina Carmella taking on Banks, Naomi, and Ripley and Morgan.
Yay!
That's
what Sasha Banks is doing now.
Yeah, yeah. She's really high up in Creative's profile there. There is another women's match here: Pat McAfee and Austin Theory. That's a good one.
Did you say women's match?
Yeah.
I like Pat McAfee.
I don't.
I can't stand Austin Theory though.
I don't like either of them.
I think he's being misused there.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though. They pushed. Austin Theory got a push, and then he got so far, and they were like, hey, man, I think we're doing too much with a young star that could actually be really good around here. We better knock him down a peg. Let's feed him to Pat McAfee with Daddy Vince McMahon on the outside of the ring now.
I hope Vince gets involved.
He's supposed to.
I hope he blows an ACL.
He's already been written in to be some kind of major factor in this. So
okay, there's 2 things I want to see now.
So in the first night, I don't see anything really that I want to get rid of, aside from The Miz and Logan Paul having a team up against the Mysterios.
Yeah, that's the worst thing they have confirmed right now.
Yeah, that's.
I could also do without Drew McIntyre and Happy Corbin.
No, well, here's the thing though. I think Baron Corbin's actually a really good in-ring performer. I think it's good.
I do too. In full disclosure, I haven't seen him wrestle a match in like a year.
Very solid.
Yeah.
Very solid.
He was good back in the day. I liked him in NXT.
Oh yeah, dude. Baron Corbin NXT is leagues ahead of where he is on the main roster. But the good thing about him, he's a safe, consistent wrestler. He's going against Drew McIntyre, who's a pretty safe, consistent, strong wrestler. So this could be a good shoot match. I mean, if they kind of get down to some brass tacks, it could be pretty good.
Likes clocks.
Likes a lot of clocks.
He's got clocks all tattooed on everywhere. Yeah. That's all.
I have a clock. I have a clock tattoo as well.
I'll clock. He has like 16. I think he has 16 clocks and 2 hourglasses.
He's got to know what time it is.
So I hope they all say 3:16.
They all do. Actually, I looked at them all in slow motion on my television. 3:16, 3:16. So if we look at the second night, like I said, there's Lesnar and Reigns going on for the winner-take-all unification match. Then the women's triple threat tag team match. Johnny Knoxville taking on Sami Zayn, Pat McAfee taking on Austin Theory, and Edge versus AJ Styles. Oh, yeah. That's the match I want to see.
I do want to see it too, but Edge looks freaking rough. I never thought I'd say this about Edge. He's got to cut that hair. It's like it's all frizzy and nuts looking.
He's supposed to look that way though.
He looks like he's like going for like the stage performance of Lion King or something. It's crazy.
Well, if you remember,
his cheeks are so sunken in. He looks like almost like Red Skull. Like you can literally see like His cheekbones are like, so sunken in.
It's tough.
Yeah.
But I think
it looks like he's been on Skid Row for like the last 2 months.
Well, I think the reason for that is he's like vegan now or something.
I know he has a very clean diet. I'm not sure of the specifics. But
he's shredded. Like, he's got like a 12.
Yeah, especially for being like damn near 50.
Yeah, like 65 years old or something like that. He's got
Curry turned 80.
Double ARP card.
Oh man. I mean that's the only thing I'm looking forward to in night 2 right now. I mean, let's see what Johnny Knoxville can do. I don't care about Lesnar and Reigns. Don't give a shit. I heard they're unifying the belts. Possibly that might be a good idea. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not huge into it, but there's also another match that's kind of hanging in the wings here. It's RK Bro taking on someone to be determined.
No.
Yeah.
I know the original plan was to break them up and have them face each other. I'd be more into that.
I would like that too, but Randy Orton finally, as a legend killer, a very tenured wrestler, he finally has some creative control, and he told everybody in the back, like, "Hey, I like being with Riddle. I'm having the most fun I've ever had."
It's probably one of the most popular things on Raw too.
Oh,
from what I've seen.
Yeah, well, it's them losing the titles actually dropped ratings so significantly. They're like, we gotta put the fucking titles back on them, and we're gonna lose everybody.
That's freaking crazy.
Yeah. So if you could take one match out of both these nights so far, the ones that I've seen that are confirmed, which one would you take and just fucking throw out?
Mysterio's versus Miz and Logan Paul on night 1, and I'm not sexist. I'm not trying to have anybody say they're having the worst day at their job ever, but the tag 3-way women's match in the second night can go.
I have a thing to say about that.
I just want it to be a triple threat. Can I just have Zelina versus Ripley versus Banks?
That sounds great.
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
For who gives a shit? Clout. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You don't need a belt.
What I would do here is in the first night, I would definitely break up this whole Usos versus Nakamura and Boogs. I don't need that. Also, too, why did Nakamura and Boogs get a shot at the tag titles when you barely gave Nakamura a chance to defend the IC title before he lost it?
He held it forever. He just never defended it.
He's one of the best Intercontinental title reigns ever because he never defended it until he did, and then he lost it in a house show, not even televised. So I would get rid of that one. I would retool the triple threat match. I would get rid of the Sasha Banks Naomi team and just have Zelina Carmella going against Ripley and Liv Morgan. I think Sasha Banks and Naomi could have their own match. There should have been some defection there.
Yeah, that could have been cool.
They could have had a really good match together. And then take that match and bump the Knoxville Sami Zayn off the card and just put the Sasha Banks Naomi match.
Put Zayn Knoxville on the Raw after WrestleMania.
Or put them on the buy-in.
Yeah,
Why aren't they not on the buy-in? There's got to be a buy-in. Got to be a buy-in. That's what I would do.
Both nights. 2 nights of buy-in.
2 nights of buy-in. Like, you have all this time. Just do something. And then you have the Raw tag title match you got to put in somewhere. So where the hell are you going to put that? Probably night 2, because you already have a tag match on the first night. What are you doing?
I'm just like, look at how good the lacing on this glass is. This beer's been so good this whole first half. Wish you could have had one.
Me too.
You sucked at picking matches though.
All the hard work I do for you.
Maybe if you came over and watched it with me, you would have did better.
This is
next
really
time.
painful.
Notes for next time.
Really
Double or
painful.
nothing, buddy.
Do you have? Do you want to draft up a dream match that you would pitch for one of the nights?
For WrestleMania?
Yeah.
I have to use people on the roster though, right?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't.
It's a tough one because they're using a lot of the roster that I like to see already.
Yeah.
I can tell you which one I want to see off the rip.
Go for it.
I want to see Alexa Bliss take on Sasha Banks. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see her make a comeback, and I think that Sasha Banks is being used completely wrong right now. She's a singles competitor. The only time I want to see her tagging up with anybody is with Bayley, because when they're heels together, they're one of the best heels. Tag team, heel teams, whatever, how you want to say that, in the business.
Right.
Just the way that they feed off of each other. They basically write their own scripts when they're hanging out with each other. So I would want to see that.
I would go with Kevin Owens and oh no, I just forgot who I was going to say.
Stone Cold.
Oh no, he just came up. No, he just came up to the main roster. Butch.
Oh yeah, Butch. Why do they change everybody's name?
I feel so bad for him, man.
And they cut his hair. That sweet haircut.
He showed up with the cap on, and I was like, oh, I hope he has his hair tucked up under that.
Nope. Oh, shit.
Butch versus anybody.
Yeah.
Really. Like
Pete Dune.
Yeah. I'd like to see Pete go like Ricochet, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
That would be good. Yeah. Ricochet? Because he's not even on right now.
And he's going to be. He's holding the IC title right now.
But there's no plans
Ireland's favorite Intercontinental Champion, by the way.
Is it really?
Yeah. Rick O'Shea. Yeah.
So we're going to go into a break. We're going to go to that was actually really good. We're going to go into a break. We got some sponsors in here. So when you support our sponsors, you support us. And when you support us, bringing some pretty cool stuff like having a whole 12-pack of these wonderful Smirnoff ices that I'm going to kill during the break.
That didn't even come out of show money. That came out of my pocket. I wanted you to enjoy this so much.
I got to reimburse him with the show money. And I can't get show money without your support. Go to our Redbubble, subscribe to our YouTube, check out our sponsors, support us, subscribe to us, share us. Tell everybody that you love us. You can lie to them. That's cool, too. We don't give a shit. But one thing we won't lie about is that we'll see you on the other side. Welcome back to the Jojitorium. You know who it is. It's Adam. It's Matt. And as you can see, we are all tatted up. So, Adam, I have to ask you, buddy, what's the number one rule about having tattoos?
Aftercare, Matt.
That's right, Aftercare. And what's the number one company for Aftercare?
I only use Lucky 13s.
I only use Lucky 13s as well. So, and all of our fans can too. So if you go to lucky13s.com and use our promo code MATA193529, you can save 25% on your entire order because
from the first line of your tattoo and beyond, Lucky 13s keeps you looking fresh. Welcome back. Thank you for listening to our sponsors. I hope you heard something you like and something you want to try out. Matt, how are you doing? Wow, that was intense.
Fuck you.
Got through all 4 of them. Mm-hmm. I got more if you need it. But before that, it's round 2. We got a beer. You get to drink the beer this time.
Okay.
So put them together. Do your thing.
Put them together. Call round 2 beer.
Round 2 beers. Those are only 4%. You're fine. Oh, you just got the burpees?
It's like so I drank fire. Oh, money shot. Money shot. That's beautiful.
I left it on the table too long.
Oh, gosh. Well, if you can't tell by the way this thing looks, we are going to be drinking a smoothie sour, and this is also from Union Brothers. Well, Adam pours his out, and then we'll switch off, and I'll take mine, and then you can talk about it a little more.
I opened it like an asshole. Yeah, so this is the one of the latest from the sauce series from Union Brothers, and this one is a blueberry pomegranate sauce. So sauce takes their base sour, which is an awesome recipe on its own. And then this one was conditioned on blueberries and pomegranate. Pretty straightforward. Coming in at 5.5 ABV. So ABV. Yeah. I mean, whew, I'll tell you what, that double IPA in the first half.
Shut up. Shut up. And to know that there's no more of it, to know that you drank.
Yeah, but you got this wonderful fruited sour from Union Brothers.
It is really good.
Again, up in Harmony, PA. Go get some food. Go get some great beers.
Absolutely. And tell them the boys sent you because we love Union Brothers.
Did you take a sip?
I did. I did take a sip. And what I like about this is that much like the sours, and I've said this before on multiple occasions, where I like sours that aren't too sharp, and this one isn't. This is nice and rounded. You get the flavor profile that comes through pretty well. The smell on it is really good. The color is beautiful as well. You really get it. I think the cranberry of it, pomegranate, I'm sorry, is very, very predominant, which is good. I like pomegranate more than I like blueberry.
I do too. I think the blueberry comes through really well in the color, and then the pomegranate in the flavor, which I appreciate because I'm not a big blueberry and beer fan either.
Neither am I. Except for as much as it's a commercial as it can be, is that bumbleberry from Fat Heads.
I hate that one.
Really?
Yeah, just because of the blueberry. I think it's a great beer. It's a greatly brewed beer. Just not a blueberry guy. The blueberry is very faint in this one.
It's
the pomegranate really helps.
Yeah. I would say that bumbleberry is the only one where I remember, like, if it's predominantly ahead of everything else, it's the one I like the most. So, while we sip on this, Adam, I threw it out to social media for a SmackDown. This one was super easy. I kind of knew where this one was going to be going here. So, I asked our listeners, with the weather getting warmer, today it was 72 degrees.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, recording on Friday.
Yeah. Peek behind the curtain. Happy Sunday. We're on Friday. Welcome to the future.
I'm pretty sure Sunday's going to be
Back to the Future? So anyway, I asked you guys, do you like to day drink? Are you a fan of warm weather day drinking? And none of you said no, which, good God, thank you very much, because there's nothing better than having a lazy Sunday and going to your favorite brew spot or your favorite brunch spot and just getting day wasted.
Yes.
I love it. I'm a basic white bitch. I truly am when it comes to this stuff. I love bottomless mimosas. When it comes to my brunch,
You're real basic.
I am basic as fuck, and I love bottomless mimosas because I trick myself into thinking it's only champagne and orange juice. I can have a gajillion of these things, and newsflash, you can't.
No.
You can't. No. Chicken and waffles also doesn't go very well with champagne.
No, not really.
It fights back.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you, Adam, do you have a day go-to drink or a spot or anything?
Not for a spot, Grist House, especially because they're big outdoor space, very nice to hang in. Yeah. Hitchhiker's new outdoor space is pretty cool. Friends of the podcast, Abjuration, have an outdoor space opening up for this. Opened up towards the end of good weather last year. Will be in full flux this year, so I'm excited for that. So any of those places. Yeah. But as far as a beverage, just low ABV because I want it. Don't want to kill myself too early. Right. Want to make it last, maybe get to a couple places.
Kat, there are 2 suggestions at you for outdoor for this year.
Sure.
2 places that I thoroughly enjoy and I will be going to this year. Leaning Cask has a brand new beer garden that's going to be in full effect.
Check it out. That's like our biggest meeting spot because it's like
right in the middle.
Halfway point of us. Yeah.
So Leaning Cask has their new outdoor spot. And then, as always, Connie Creek, the original outhouse there, has a nice wraparound deck where it's always just kind of in the sun just enough where you get some warmth, and they always have some low ABV beers on to begin with.
That's true.
Their cream ale is usually always on tap. It's a great spot to go. And Lee's wife is a phenomenal cook. So that brunch is on point.
I've never had brunch there, but I get last time I was there, I got the chicken tacos, and they blew my socks off.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. So there's some great spots you guys can check out. Of course, hit up Grist, hit up Hitchhiker, hit up Connie Creek, hit up Leaning Cask. Check out your favorite spots. Hit Abjuration. Find your favorite spot and see if they have an outdoor area. Go there and just waste your Saturday or Sunday.
Find one we didn't talk about and let us know so we can check it out.
Absolutely. Dude, could you imagine? Check this out. Let's go on site and do a podcast during brunch and just slowly fall apart.
That would go downhill quickly.
That would be one of those Patreon episodes that I don't release.
Yeah.
So, Adam, while we're sipping on this wonderful beer from Union Brothers, we're going to do something we haven't done in a really long time.
It's been a while.
But let me just bring it in, a little bit of an intro, okay?
You got it.
So mid-card titles drive promotion, and it feeds the championship scene. However, some mid-card title holders were far more popular than the heavyweight champions themselves. But who reigns supreme? I challenge you to the Mount Rushmore of Intercontinental Champions. It has been a while, so I think it's only fair, if we have some new listeners, that we tell them how this works. It's head-to-head. Whoever goes first, and second, third, fourth, and so on and so forth. And you have to have more than just 4 people on your list before you can construct a Mount Rushmore, because if Adam steals one of mine, I have to think of another one. If I still want Adam's, he has to think of another one. So you can't have 4. You have to have like 8, 10. You got to really stack up. 8's
safe, because if all of yours get taken, you at least have a backup for all of them. But
absolutely.
Yeah. I usually try to go, 8 to 10.
Yeah. So we'll do that, and we're going to do Intercontinental Champions. So that's WWE, WWF champions for Intercontinental.
They're mid-card, only Intercontinental, not U.S. title.
Not U.S. title. We're not doing European title. We're not doing the U.S. Championship. It's just the IC title. We'll do the other ones some other time.
Right.
But right now, doing the IC title.
Yeah.
Okay. And Adam, I keep track. I've kept track, and you get to go first. So Adam, with the showdown for the Intercontinental Championships, who's your first round draft pick?
Easy one. Peek behind the curtain. We're doing it because of this man. And thank you for letting me go first. It's always a pleasure. Never a chore. And the first pick by far is Razor Ramon, a.k.a. Scott Hall. Razor Ramon when he held the IC title, though.
Absolutely.
My favorite IC champion of all time, not because of current events, just he was my dude. He was the first heel I liked. in wrestling because I was a young kid when he was the IC champ. His ladder match with Shawn Michaels, where there were a dispute over the Intercontinental titles, and they were both hanging above the ring, and he won the ladder match for the IC title. Is maybe the best ladder match ever, and it's very, very, very bare bones because it was like the second one ever. I think the first one on TV.
Yeah, first one that was free for cable television.
Not free. That was a PP. That was a WrestleMania.
Oh, my bad.
I believe it was definitely a pay-per-view. I'm just not sure what pay-per-view. I'm pretty sure it was a Mania though. I think it was the only good match on that card too because I've gone back and watched it. But yeah, he's my number one.
Okay.
Shoot him to the top.
Absolutely. Shoot him to the top. Outsiders for life.
Who's your number one pick? Matt Main.
So I have to go back. I have to go back to the day. I have to go back to the man who made the Intercontinental title what it is today. Mr. Pat Patterson.
Didn't even make it what it is today, just made it.
He made the IC title. So Pat Patterson unified the WWF North American Championship with the South American Championship in Rio de Janeiro in 1979. So the IC title wasn't even in existence.
In a real match.
Yes, in a real match.
That was not televised.
He gutted out in a grueling one-night tournament where he fought, I think it was like 4 different matches in one night, which, I mean, it's scripted combat. But to go 4 matches, and for people that were in attendance said that it's one of the best wrestling tournaments they've ever seen. And back in 1979, where it was very stiff, very rigid, people were coming out with striking injuries. Pat Patterson took those 2 titles, put them together, and now we have the IC title.
There you go.
So with my first round draft pick, I'm taking the legend himself, rest in peace, Pat Patterson.
Absolutely. He went banana, as he used to say.
Yes.
And I don't remember everybody he fought that night, but I remember being reported one was Ted DiBiase.
Yep.
And one was Johnny Rods, I believe, was the finals. He was Taz's trainer.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
Little secret there.
There you go.
And a big guy in the Mid-Atlantic.
Yes.
As far as training people. Johnny Rods trained a bunch of people in this area. So.
His name is stamped on so many legends that we see to this day. So for my second choice, you're going to see a little bit of a theme here, a little bit of a time period that's coming through a lot. Okay. I don't know. There might be better like reigns with the title, but as far as just a wrestler I fucking loved, that held it, I got to go with Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. Oh, absolutely.
That's my number 2 choice.
Yeah. So Kurt Hennig was one of the best heels in the game, and when he held the IC title, he held it with a bravado that was unmatched by any IC champion. No one could handle the heel heat that Hennig brought to the ring,
and was just like a shooter's shooter. He was just a wrestler's wrestler. He had legit credentials, much like a Kurt Angle, much like a lot of guys back then. But he was a super legit mat wrestler, but then also had a great personality and great character that just propelled his IC title matches and every feud he was in up the card, you know?
Yep,
like,
absolutely.
And both my picks so far, and I don't know if it'll keep going this way, but both of them never held the world title. Like, both of those guys maybe held tag titles, maybe held titles in other organizations, but never had the WWE world title.
Well, don't worry, because my second round draft pick is going to break that idea because I'm going with the Ayatollah of rock and roll, Le Champion, the influencer, the man who created his own appreciation society, Chris Jericho, because he's held the title more than anyone else 9 times. And in those 9 times, he had classic wins. His 4th title win against Chris Benoit in the 2001 Royal Rumble ladder match, which is heralded as one of the best ladder matches of all time. His loss to RVD to end his 6th reign on Raw in 2003 is known as one of the best TV matches of all time. His 7th championship win to break Jeff Jarrett's title total. And last but not least, beating Rey Mysterio to win his 9th title in a no-holds-barred match is known as one of the best matches that Rey Mysterio has ever had in his career.
Watch that one. I mean, I'm sure I saw it when it happened. I just don't remember that one.
It's a phenomenal match.
Check it out.
And Chris Jericho, I mean, if you're watching wrestling now, who he is now isn't a shell of who he used to be. But back when he was in WWF and WWE, he had another level, another gear that he went into for heels because of all the supreme talent that was around him. His feud with The Rock is extraordinary. And at one point, the IC title was the focus of his
feud with The Rock.
Yeah. So Chris Jericho carried the title more than any other person right now. And he's done it with a bravado that's unmatched other than Kurt Hennig. Kurt Hennig is the master heel. Chris Jericho is the student. But my second round draft pick, Y2J.
Boy, we're going to keep the heel train rolling with my third pick. I'm surprised you haven't taken any of mine yet. I mean, Jericho was on my list, but not in my top 4. And Patterson, I know he started it, but I never saw any of his matches. So, wasn't on my list either. But another great heel of the game that was taken from us far too soon. Got to go with the Blackheart, Owen Hart.
Yep. Oh, man. Owen Hart, that tragic loss from professional wrestling when he was trying to reinvent himself, as most wrestlers do. They try to be a superhero at some point. Yeah. Owen Hart had a great skill set, and his brother Bret Hart was actually a really good IC title holder as well.
And they feuded over. I'm pretty sure they feuded over the IC belt, right?
They certainly did, and that's what actually
some of those matches. One of the best cage. I don't remember if their cage match was for the IC title, but like as far as a brother versus a brother match, and as far as steel cage matches go, it was awesome.
Top of the list here, and Owen Hart too. When he joined the Nation of Domination, he actually held the IC title during that reign, and when he fought the criticism of being in the Nation of Domination because it's predominantly an African American faction. They brought him in when he was going through the Nugget phase, but he embodied the disenfranchised family member and really brought that to the Nation of Domination and brought a whole nother level of, I'm not going to be held down. I'm going to succeed. Him and Farouk teaming up at times.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. What a dynamic tag team that was. Yeah. Owen Hart. I know there's some criticism about like everything. He's not that great. He was amazing. He was amazing.
He was a little sloppy early in his career, but
but he fixed that.
Yeah, he was a technician.
Well, everyone compared him to his brother, and his brother was solid from the womb. Right. I mean, so he had to learn a little more, but he ended up being phenomenal. So, with my third round pick, I always try to go a little left field with mine. This is when I usually pick with my heart. So, and this is where you're going to start taking a big old shit on me.
I don't know, because I got a weird one that I might use for my number 4, so you might be stealing it.
So, back in the Attitude Era, there were lots of characters, and there was one character that I love to this day. He's actually still active in wrestling.
Okay, it's not mine.
Okay. So, he's enigmatic. He's cerebral. He had great programs with The Undertaker, Razor Ramon, the 1-2-3 Kid. He defended against Jake the Snake Roberts in a classic match. Gold Dust.
Yeah. That's where I thought you were going.
Yes. So Gold Dust was always one of my favorite wrestlers because I always loved weird stuff, and nobody was weirder than Gold Dust. He played very weird androgynous. That was
the key word all the time. And there was a great spot, if you haven't watched it, where he actually lays a big old smooch on the Undertaker, and then Mark sits the fuck up and he's like, I'm gonna murder that dude. He splits.
He just runs through the crowd. Yeah. Oh man, it was fantastic. So yes, with my third round pick, without any more fanfare, Gold Dust.
Good choice.
Thank you.
Can't hate on that. So I'm going with Stardust. No, I'm sure. I don't even know. I think he held the IC title.
I think he held the IC title as Cody Rhodes.
Okay, well, it's not him. I'm not picking him. I don't know, Matt. I got. You really didn't take any of mine, so I got 2 Canadians or an Attitude Era star. Yeah. Which one should I pick as my number 4?
Let me look at my list real quick. If you could go ahead and go with a Golden Era.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't touch that Attitude Era.
Yeah. Well, I say that hopefully that you take the Attitude Era.
So I think I'm still right in running. Running it back where it's another person that I don't think ever won the WWE heavyweight title, but I might be wrong on this one because he has a long history. But it's going to be the Hot Rod, Roddy Piper, for me.
Yeah, wonderful pick.
I mean, in full disclosure, it's Bret Hart's on my list, but he was he was a great IC champion, but he also held the world championship a lot.
He was more of a focus in the championship, the world.
So I think for this specific IC mountain, Roddy Piper. Great on the mic. A lot like, I mean, I picked 4 fucking heels. I can't believe it. But yeah, I mean, I like heels, especially when I look back on it. But just a lot like Mr. Perfect. Just unbelievable promos. Yeah. A great technician in the ring. I remember watching him lose the belt to Bret Hart, and it was a phenomenal match. And that was back in the pre-New Gen. Like, that was golden era, like you said.
Right.
That was like Bret Hart's getting shot up the card at that time. Owen, I think, was still in a tag team at the time.
Yeah.
So
I think Owen was still
Owen might have still been in Stampede.
He was in Mississippi.
Oh, yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for my 4th pick, the Hot Rod Roddy Piper.
Wonderful. That's a great pick. I like, too, that we did not poach off of each other.
I can't believe we didn't.
Yeah. Which is a beautiful thing, because I think professional wrestling is for everybody. You can form your own opinions. It's kind of nice. Because with my 4th round pick, which I actually put up a lot higher than I did, but I wanted to save him for last, because the problem is he only had 1 reign.
Oh, this might be my man.
He only did it 1 time. But he did it the best. He beat Tito Santana in 1986 in a messy match that nobody fucking liked. Okay? But he had a banger of a match with George the Animal Steel at WrestleMania 2.
He did.
And he lost to my favorite wrestler of all time, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, at WrestleMania 3, in what is called the absolute best match of all time. You know I'm talking about him. Number whatever the fuck in your programs, at number 1 in your hearts, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Good choice, sir.
This guy brought not only a wrestling acumen to the ring, but he brought that troubled relationship that was very tumultuous at the time he held the Intercontinental title with Miss Elizabeth. Oh, Miss Elizabeth, I can't believe you're running around with some other dicks. I'm not going to be able to stomach this. Oh, my God. Are you talking to Hulkster?
It was Hulkster back then.
It was Hulkster back then.
Turned into Lex.
So I love Macho Man Randy Savage.
Old Larry Luger.
I think that despite the fact he held it 1 time, he held it for a really important time in wrestling. And that kind of propelled that mid-card back up, because it was kind of deflated at the time.
Yeah.
And his match with his program leading up to the match with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat really reinvigorated the mid-card. And that's why I think he deserves a spot, at least in my picks. And we'll see where he lands in the Mount Rushmore.
No, I'm glad he made it. He just couldn't make. It was between me throwing him or Owen in, and
and I don't think you're wrong with either.
Yeah.
Really. So Adam, I think we can both agree that in the Mount Rushmore,
it's just my list, and let's roll on to questions from the internet.
Nope.
Ah, shit.
I'm gonna agree wholeheartedly that Razor Ramon, Scott Hall needs to be number 1.
Cool with that.
Yeah.
Here's my number 1. So, yeah.
So I think it's only fair. His ladder match with Shawn Michaels is heralded as one of the best matches of all time. Not just the best ladder match, but the best match of all time.
Yeah. Shawn was also on my list.
Mine too. Yeah.
I will say, I think I can remember everybody that was there. Brett, Shawn, Jake the Snake.
Oh, yeah.
And Macho, I think. Well, I mean, you said Macho.
I had Rick Rude, Tito Santana, Randy Orton, Bret Hart, and Shawn Michaels.
No, the Attitude Era one.
Oh, yeah.
D'Lo Brown.
Oh, he was really good. He injured everybody. It was great. So if I could pitch somebody right now, I'd really like to pitch Chris Jericho for number 2, only because he held it the most amount of times, and his match with Rey Mysterio is one of the top 5 matches of all time.
I'd rather you pitch Macho Man.
I'm going to.
Only because but both of them, and actually everybody on your list, no, half your list, Jericho and Macho Man both were like world champion status for a lot of their career. But I'll let Jericho on just because he's had it 9 fucking times.
9 times, and
so he spent a lot of time there, and he elevated the title in a time where it wasn't
really sought
elevated.
after. Yeah. And half of his matches on defenses have been heralded as some of the best matches in history.
I remember the Benoit match.
Oh, the Benoit match was amazing.
Yeah, that was the ladder match, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Sick.
All right, what do you got, man? It's tough. There's a lot of really good champions here.
I got to go with the best, like, all-around wrestler, like, just embodied a pro wrestler on my list, and it's Kurt Hennig.
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect.
I can't disagree with that anymore. Kurt Hennig is amazing.
In full disclosure, Roddy Piper had some promos that would not fly too well today.
No. Some things
they didn't fly super well back then.
No, he caught heat.
But Hennig was just a good, cocky, fucking piece of shit heel.
Yep.
That you love to hate.
Absolutely.
Much akin to MJF nowadays. So, yeah.
And to round it out, I believe that the Macho Man deserves a spot on the Mount Rushmore because of the complicated history.
Right below Owen Hart.
I don't know, man. I think that Macho Man's reign with the IC title was more memorable than Owen Hart's.
I don't think so. Remember, Owen turned on Bret Hart and literally said, "Bret, I just kicked your leg out of your leg." It didn't make any sense.
Right.
And he kept just repeating he was the Black Heart. That's why I love it.
You know what? That's a strong argument.
No, I'm definitely giving it to you in the Macho Man. Like you said, to this day, his match with Steamboat where he lost the belt is heralded as one of the best matches of WrestleMania.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And they did that on the third try. And
yep.
We're at, 36 or something this year.
Yeah.
Nobody.
38.
Yeah.
38.
Nobody's
come close.
I mean, some people sniffed it, but nobody says, no, it's definitely this instead.
Yeah.
Like,
You got some newbies trying to say it's Undertaker, Shawn Michaels.
It was good.
I
would put that at number 2.
Yeah, but nothing beats Macho Man Ricky Steamboat.
Especially your boy Steamboat.
Yeah. So if you want to know the Mount Rushmore of IC titles, according to the boys, it's Razor Ramon, a.k.a. Scott Hall, Chris Y2J Jericho.
There you go. You got it. You got it all.
I had too many Smirnoff Ices.
The Ayatollah of rock and roller.
Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, and the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Check out their matches. They're all over YouTube. You can really check everything out, and it's worth a watch, especially if you like pro wrestling and you haven't seen these matches where they either won their IC title or lost their IC title. These are amazing wrestlers, and they have great matches that you can go back and watch for free on YouTube. I can only encourage it so much. So, Adam, moving on to a segment that's become very fun for us.
Androgynous.
It's a lot. A very androgynous section of our show.
Absolutely.
So this is questions from the internet. So I go ahead and I look online and I try to find some things I think are interesting that we can pick apart. Some people send us some questions. So one of these questions is actually one from our listeners. The other couple are from the internet. Thank you, Twitter. Indie Podcast Twitter. You guys feed us a lot of cool stuff to talk about here. So, Adam, I have to ask you, what's a weird movie you've seen and enjoyed?
So, funny enough, I mean, I've talked about some of my favorite weird movies on here already. Like probably the most basic is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. But I've also talked about Basket Case and Faust with the puddle of boobs and butts.
Puddle of boobs and butts.
So, actually, from the same director as Faust, he made a little movie called Society.
Oh, that's so good.
Which I'm not going to say anything about the plot other than it's great body horror and just go watch it if you're in for a silly time. It's not horrifying, maybe a little bit of gross out depending on your tolerance for that. I don't think it's that gross. Yeah. I just think it's a fucking wacky ass movie. When I saw a weird movie, I was like, that's the wackiest fucking shit I've ever seen.
That is definitely the wackiest movie I've ever seen.
And he also directed, I just pulled up his credentials. He did Bride of Reanimator.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if he didn't do original Reanimator, I don't think. But he did Bride of Reanimator and Beyond Reanimator. I don't know what that was. That might have been a behind the scenes thing, or that's a sequel. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it's completely campy and gory and it's beautiful.
And he did The Dentist. I remember The Dentist.
The Dentist is really good too.
So this guy does some weird shit. Nice. And so from the director of Faust.
Love it.
I think he did Society first and then did Faust. But whatever. Go check it out. So and go check out Faust.
Yeah.
And Basket Case.
Puddle of boobs and butts. It's fucking hilarious. And you'll know exactly what we're talking about when this scene pops up.
Oh yeah. There's no other scene like it.
A weird movie that I've seen and I've enjoyed, it's called The Special. Basically, a dude fucks a box for 90 minutes.
Yeah, you told me to watch this, and I did.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a weird.
Talk about, so a guy goes to a whorehouse. If I can say that. Is that disingenuous to sex workers?
Brothel.
Sorry. He goes to a house for sex workers. I'm sorry.
America's oldest profession.
It is. And his buddy, who's like this, is the staple of like 1990s, like I do cocaine and run stocks. He's like, you got to go here and get the special. The special is quite literally a wooden box with a hole that you can put your penis inside of. And I don't want to spoil too much, but it gets crazy. It gets nuts. And I've actually had a moment to DM the director, and he's very nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's very cool. He's very nice to us. I'm trying to entice him to come on and talk about the special a little bit, which is kind of like my teaser for you.
That'll be weird.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Come talk about a dick in a box with me, okay? So, Adam, what is your favorite horror decade?
This is the easiest question you have ever launched my way. I didn't even have to think about it. Immediately, off the rip, the decade I was born in, the 1980s. It's the quintessential decade for horror. Yeah. Probably not, I'm only laughing because it was probably the sleaziest horror.
Absolutely.
And the campiest, and a lot of comedy and a lot of real bad shit too.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean it's not good. Like, that doesn't mean it's not good, not something you want to watch.
Bye, mouse.
It was, yes. But just,
Fuck that mouse in general.
Stephen Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh, yeah.
The Friday the 13th franchise got started there. Nightmare on Elm Street got started there. I think Child's Play was all in the 80s for the most part. Hellraiser, like all these fucking franchises that Hollywood's still in love with and still trying to recreate, all came from the 80s for the most part. Yeah. Other than Halloween, they all came from the fucking 80s.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's what I got into, even though I didn't get into horror until the 90s because I was fucking 5 in the 80s.
Right.
So it's still just the decade I love. And I'll just like look it up as a genre to find something new now still. Yeah. So easy, slam dunk.
Okay.
1980s.
Let me help you out here.
I feel like you're going to fucking pick a different decade.
I am going to pick a different decade. So I love the 80s. I love the 90s. But the
not like the 90s.
Era of time where I rediscovered my love for horror because people started getting really crazy because back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you had to go through at least a major studio to have even the most campy, like offshoot horror movie. But from 2000 to 2010, people were shooting shit on like handy cams, and they were having some of the best movies ever doing it like that. So my favorite to reinvigorate myself in the horror community, in the horror genre, was from 2000 to 2010. At that time, you saw a lot of really great movies come out. House of a Thousand Corpses, the Halloween remake. You saw things like, you saw the continuation of the Hellraiser series. You also saw some reinvigorations of like Child's Play. Scream continued on through that era.
That Texas Chainsaw reboot was in 2002. That was a great one.
So there
what about Blair Witch?
Blair Witch 2.
Or was that late 90s?
Blair Witch 2.
But the original was
1990.
Because that was like... That reinvented parts of the wheel for the whole genre.
Oh, absolutely.
I just wasn't sure what decade that was in.
That was in the 90s.
Okay.
But I would say, too, like, and then you find the staples that people really hinged on to gore porn happened then. The Hills Have Eyes remake was there. Hills Have Eyes 2 was there. Saw was there. Yeah. The original Saw was in 2008, I believe. So this was a great reinvigoration for horror. So that's my favorite. Not to say that it's better than the 80s and 90s. I think the 80s is hands down the best horror decade ever. But for me, I rediscovered my love for horror in the 2000, 2010.
Yeah, you're probably that's probably my second place too. Yeah. Not only that, but since you brought up Scream, I watched the new one.
I did too.
Oh,
I did too.
It's really fucking good.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hated some of the characters.
Of course.
Some of the new characters. I don't want to spoil anything. But other than getting over them being slightly annoying, I thought it was very well done.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe to promote it, I think it was maybe one of the bloodiest and goriest of the franchise. So I liked it a lot.
Everyone kind of got mad at it because it wasn't, they were like, it's not as meta as the first couple.
I thought it was super meta.
It was super meta. It talked about itself while it was developing. Right. I don't want to spoil it too much because on Paramount Plus, Do yourself a favor. It's like an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh yeah, you know what? Because we were actually here and we saw it hit Paramount Plus together.
Yeah.
And then you probably went home and watched it. I watched it.
I ran home to watch it. But it's super meta. It talks about itself as it develops. It basically tells on itself while it's developing. Yeah. I loved it. So Scream 2021, 22? 22. 22. Wonderful movie.
I think it came out in January. Yeah. So.
F all the haters.
And my dude from The Boys is in it.
Yeah.
I like that. I was like, oh, I love this guy. I don't even know his name, but
he's a famous Quaid. He's a Quaid.
Oh, is he one of the Quaid kids?
He's one of the Quaid kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
What?
Crazy one, Randy, I think is the one that went berserker. Yeah, Randy Quaid.
Oh,
Shitter's full. Yeah, he's a.
Oh yeah, he's out of his mind.
He's tinfoil hat now. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, he's lost it.
You kind of saw that coming from a mile away.
Yeah, hopefully he's Dennis Quaid's kid though. Dennis Quaid got a good head.
I think he is Dennis Quaid's kid. Okay. Also, Dennis Quaid in Legion. Great job.
Oh yeah.
Love.
Happy birthday to Dennis Quaid.
Happy birthday, Dennis Quaid. I loved you in Legion. You were amazing.
I don't have any legit birthday. I didn't look up birthdays this week. It's getting played out. Except for Dennis Quaid.
I'll ask you this then. What are 3 things you have in your fridge at all times?
Well, the easy go-to is beer.
Yeah. Beer's the best.
Beer's the best. Cheese.
Yeah.
Love cheese.
Okay.
What else do I always have in my fridge? It's tough. I mean, I like hot sauce, but I don't put it in the fridge.
You don't?
No.
I do.
Most of mine are shelf-stable ones. I mean, I have a couple.
Yeah.
A couple of the Uncle Jamie ones that go in the fridge.
Oh, yeah, you have to. Yeah. Well, all the vegetable components.
I guess a mustard. I always have a spicy brown mustard on hand.
Nice.
I knew it was a condiment because, I could say meat, but I eat through that.
That's
it's
too
not
quick.
Always in there. Yeah.
Doesn't even make it to the fridge.
Yeah, so beer, cheese, mustard.
Nice. I would say oat milk for me. I always have some kind of oat milk in the because Papa can't eat red meat. I also can't have whole milk, so
the Smirnoffs are gonna send you sideways by the time you get home.
It's already rumbling down in my tum tum. I would say too. I have Cholula Chipotle sauce, hot sauce in my fridge at all times. I have the big bottles. I love the smokiness of that. It's so good.
That's a very smoky one.
Yeah, I really love it. And then I would say I always have some kind of poultry, turkey or chicken in my fridge, whether it be like whole slice or like I like to crock pot like a whole chicken and then pick off of it through the week, make sandwiches and stuff. So if you come to my house, you can definitely have hot sauce on chicken and some oat milk if you feel so inclined. What a combination.
Wash it down with a big old glass of oat milk.
Yeah. And if you want to ask us some questions, by all means, just hit us up in our DMs. We're at DWTB on all social media. And also, too, we have DWTB@gmail.com. So, Adam, what's on tap and where can you find us?
Where can you find us? I'm starting to learn these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You better learn for next week.
So, we don't have much on tap right now. Crushed by the Fist of God still sitting in there just because I can't drink it during school nights.
Nope.
11.5%.
No one can drink that shit during school nights.
So that's our 11.5% smoked Imperial Stout. So come take it off my hands, please. Because still have, roughly half a keg in there of that. Our Hair of the Hog Red Ale that we brewed up for St. Patty's Day is still on. There's only about a half a keg of that left as well. And Clouds Over California version 2 featuring Simcoe, Idaho 7, and Citra will be ready to roll by the time you're hearing this on Sunday.
Wonderful.
It just hit the kegs this afternoon. So,
and then you can also find Bash Brew at the Best Brunch Ever on May 14th. Yes. And also we're going to be at Brews and Bruises on June 4th. And there's another one too.
Brewers and PA State Championship Invitational in July. Boom. I think it's the 16th.
Oh, yeah.
Middle of July.
That's right. July 16th.
We will definitely get these dates hammered out.
Yeah.
There might be another little thing we're doing in June, but
it's kind of under wraps right now.
Yes.
Yeah. And then all the way in November, we're going to do Hops for Heroes.
I will say it's a week or two after Brews and Bruises, and we're looking at you, Westmoreland County. That's all I can say.
Oh, right coming home to daddy. Yeah. Love it. So if you know what's going on down here in the Brew Lab with Adam, it's at @bash_brew on all social media. It's Facebook and Instagram, sometimes on Twitter. I keep trying to convince him. He's also on Untapped. Don't forget about the boys down here as well. We're at DKNWTB on all social media. It's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to check us out on Good Pods and give us a 5-star rating because that keeps boosting us up. Right now, we're number 2 overall. We're beating Jim Cornette. We're beating all these suckers that think that they're better than we are at Wrestling Talk. We're better than you, and you know it. Don't forget about our YouTube. You can like, subscribe, and share to everybody. And we're also on Redbubble, where dad hats are always $19.52. Don't forget about our sponsors. And we have our listener polls on Tuesdays, new audio on Sundays, and new videos on Mondays.
Send Matt those happy birthdays. It's his birthday month.
Yes, it is my birthday month. Love me.
Drink a green beer and a Smirnoff for Matt.
Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it. So, until next time, wherever you are listening to this, hopefully on this rainy Sunday, you're trying to keep dry and drinking a beer while you're listening to us. Until next time, from the Jojitorium, cheers.
Cheers. St. Patrick was English descent, Scottish at best. I'll punch it up. I'll punch it up. I'm a fucking professional. Because if we don't make this thing succeed, I have to do my day job till retirement.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
I gained 15 pounds this year. I'm not going to make it. Dude, I went to the doctor yesterday.
The doctor was like, please stop.